Hey, what's up, Ranger fans? Oh, I'm having some technical difficulties today. So if something is not sounding good, like my camera is I'm just all kinds of jacked up. I did some rearranging and of some equipment, and my monitor is like not in the right spot. I can't find my mouse. Sorry, where's my mouse? There's my nope, it's over there. Do I go to the right? It's so confusing. Nope, we go this way. Okay, there we go. I found my mouse. Whew. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. And then I moved my monitor over here, so it's a little closer to my face than I'm used to. Because really what I wanted to do was get it out of my face. So I wanted to put it to the side of my mouth, kind of like it is right now. So again, if at any point in time during the stream today I'm too loud, too quiet, you can't hear me, or you can hear too much of me, please let me know. I will be doing my best to adjust that on the fly. We'll see how that works. It's probably not going to work out too well. Mr. Beast is taking a poll to either donate 10K to you or another streamer. Who is Mr. Beast? A YouTuber. Okay. How did he find out about me? I never even heard about this guy. All right. Well, I'm sure that that poll is not going to go into my favor because, yeah, I don't even know how he found out about me. How did you find out about this? Now I gotta look it up. Let's see. Did he like? Oh, he has a Twitter. Okay. That's cool. Mr. Beast. Let's see if I can find him. How's everybody doing today? If you're not familiar, I should probably do my intros. That kind of blindsided me. I am Daddy Louie. I am a member of the Circle of Nerds. You can find all my content over on YouTube at youtube.com/Circle of Nerds. Go over there and subscribe. That means the world to me and to our group. And thank you, as always, to Renegade for having me on the stream today. Today we are painting Psycho Pink. And we're doing Psycho Pink for a couple reasons. You guys have seen me paint. This will be the third Psycho that we have painted on stream. We've done yellow and green. So we're doing pink for two reasons. One, I want to try and get this to be more of a chaotic pink rather than a bright pink like we're used to with, figures like Kimberly and Jennifer, which we did also on stream. Well, we did Jennifer on stream. We didn't do Kimberly. And that's reason number one. Reason number two is we're trying to get through I'm seeing now the more money I give away in a video, the more I don't see anything about me. I do see stuff about them giving away stuff. Wow, this guy's got a lot of YouTube stuff, or a lot of Twitter followers. Holy moly. 7.9 million YouTube Twitter followers. That's pretty crazy. But I don't see my name in there anywhere, so I don't know. All right, so let's go down to the table. Where's my table button? There we go. Things are working out. I also bought some new toys for us to experiment with here on the stream. So I got this new painting handle. It is also from Citadel, similar to the other one. Let me grab my other one here. So far, I like it a lot. It's definitely less bulky than this one here. The only thing I don't like, see with the old one, you can take the top off. So this unscrews, and you can put it off to the side. I haven't really found an application for that yet. I haven't found a need to do that, but you could if you wanted to. I'm sure some people have figured out a need for that, but I have not. This one doesn't do that, so this one doesn't come off. But it's lighter. I have more control. It's easier to manipulate the model, so it's pretty nice. I don't know if these are completely obsolete. I only bought one of those. Do they sell other tops? So at the store that I went to, they only had the small one. They didn't have my large one. Has another miniature somewhere else. So there's two sizes to these. There's the small size and then the large size. This one only had the small size, but that could have just been at my store. I haven't had a chance to research that. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, I like it a lot. It's really, really easy to manipulate the model. Hey, Atomic, the only thing that you missed is apparently some YouTuber is doing a poll right now to either donate 10K to me or to another streamer. But I looked on said streamers or said YouTuber's Twitter, and I don't see anything, so I don't know. That's all you missed. And I was showing off some of my new toys. So that's that. Also, I got, and you can't see it because it's all right here on the thing, but if you are friends with me on Facebook or you follow me over on Instagram, I posted a picture. I've redone my desk. So I bought paint stands. So all of my paints are no longer in a bin, which you've heard me complain about before. They're all up on a rack. So I can find colors quick, fast, and in a hurry, which is nice. Also, I found the glaze medium that I was looking for. I actually found two different kinds. I found a Vallejo one, and I found a Army Painter one. They both suck. So I am going back to all that, and I'm going to be sticking with my airbrush thinner. They are both crap. So for me, anyway, some people may get use out of them. Shout out to that lady who I found all that stuff from. But and I found some more Nuln Oil. I bought some new paints. Oh, and the final thing I found, maybe you guys already know about this. Maybe I'm the one that's late to the party. Check this out. Are you ready? Look at that. So these are pot toppers, and they were about $2.50 a piece. I bought, I think, 8 of them, so $20 worth. And you take off the Citadel top that's on there, and you replace it with these. And they're freaking awesome. They're phenomenal. These are soft. The tip up here is soft. So you just give your paints a shake, and you open up the top, and bloop, look at that. I probably shouldn't have done that because I'm not painting silver right now. Oh well. How cool is that though, right? Yeah, so they're awesome. I have some extras because I didn't. The thing is I only bought 8, and I have like 90 something Citadel pots. So I didn't know, you know, I didn't know which ones to put them on. So I put them on Lead Belcher and our buddy Althuan Gray and Mechanicus Standard Gray because I use those colors like literally every time I paint. So I figured they'd get the most use. But anyway, that is all the goodies that I got. Sorry, we got really distracted, and let's start painting. So let me grab a photo of what we're painting. Like I said, I'm all kinds of like mess backwards today. Okay. I obviously know how to paint the Psycho Ranger already because we've already painted a few of them. I mostly need to look at her bow because her bow is obviously going to be different. Was anybody else able to confirm this, YouTuber who was supposedly donating money? I'd never heard of this guy before, which is not to say that he's not real because I just looked him up. He clearly is, but. All right. And a big bummer was I didn't get. His name is Mr. Beast. One word. MrBeast. Matt is a great man from the chat said Mr. Beast is taking a poll to either donate 10K to you or another streamer. And apparently he said it over on Twitter. I don't know. So we'll start with our German Gray. And we'll do a drop of Airbrush Thinner. So why did the... so to talk about painting, why was I not a fan of the other things? Well, I wasn't a fan of the Army Painter one because it was like jelly rather than water. Like it was way, way, way too thick. And it didn't say on the bottle. It doesn't say that it's a medium. It says it's a paint mixer or mixture. So I think it's specifically designed for Army Painter paints if you're mixing colors and stuff. I guess I just assumed based on looking at the bottle that it was a medium, but I think I may have been wrong about that. The reason that I did not like the Vallejo gloss medium, or not gloss medium, glaze medium, thank you, is because it took forever for the paints to dry. It almost ended up being more like a flow aid to help paint flow, as opposed to a medium to water down the paint, just water down the paints, if that makes sense. So that was the that was the reason behind why I didn't really care for those two. With the airbrush thinner, it just thins down the paint. It doesn't increase drying time. It makes the paint last a lot longer on the palette. It just works for what I needed it for. So some exciting news for those of you that are in the chat. And I'll probably mention this again later, so if you hear it twice, I apologize. But next week, rather than painting Psychos and Space Rangers, because we're on like our, 1, 2, 3, 4? I think this is our 4th straight just Ranger from the box. We are going to paint King Mondo. And I've asked for two streams for that, because that's a very intricate model, so it's definitely going to take 2 streams to do. So I hope everybody's excited about that, painting up King Mondo instead of another Ranger. So we'll be doing that over the course of the next 2 streams after today. And I probably would have started on King Mondo today, but I had already scheduled this out. And because of that giveaway, I really do need to get these guys worked on. So for those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. For those of you that don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I need to adjust my camera here. I think we're... Yeah, the few people that I've talked to about their holiday that were kind of, bumming ahead of time about not being able to have family, actually ended up really enjoying just having a low-key, relaxing, more intimate holiday. Mine was very good. It was very low-key. I think I mentioned last time we were supposed to have family. They canceled, so it was nice. Not long enough of a weekend. I'm very selfish when it comes to my long weekends. If you give me a 4-day weekend instead of saying, "Oh, that was a nice 4-day weekend," I say, "Why didn't you give me a 5-day weekend?" I walked into work today and my boss was like, how was your weekend? I was like, "Not long enough." That was literally my initial reaction, "Not long enough." And he goes, "Man, you had 4 days." I was like, "Well, you could have given me 5. That would have been better." Some of the paint on the boot is not sticking to the model. I'm assuming that means maybe I didn't get enough primer there. Yeah, I'm sure my boss agrees too. He just always likes to counter what I say with stuff like that. I guess that's one of the good things about being self-employed. The only one to complain to you is you. Wow. So I just realized that I did not take a picture of the model before I started painting. Oh, crap. I do. I need a picture of it unpainted. Renegade likes to have like a before and after. So I usually take like a before picture before like the stream starts, and then I take an after picture. Yeah, that'd be great actually if you could. Because otherwise I would have to get just like a generic picture, if that makes sense. No, it just has to be a picture. I mean, I can make it look like, from... Oh, poop. So there's, I also found one of my other paint holders. Unfortunately, it doesn't work really well for Power Rangers. So I got this. Oh shoot, I I did a Kickstarter. I backed this on Kickstarter a while ago, and it's basically just pop bottles that you put some sticky tack on or whatever. And you put the model on, and then you can hold it like this while you paint. It's kind of nice, like I said, but it's, if you look at the scale of the Power Ranger models, it's quite large. But for some of the other models that I paint, it's pretty good. Hey, Alex. Oh, don't worry about being late. We kind of started late because I got wicked distracted from... Somebody jumped in the chat and then said something, and then I don't even think they're in the chat anymore. I don't know if they were just trolling me or if it was true. It was probably a troll because I don't think they're in here anymore. They basically said like some famous YouTuber had a poll up on Twitter that between me and another content creator, one of us was going to get 10K or something like that. I'd rather have 100 pictures of an unpainted Psycho than no pictures at this point. But don't send me 100 pictures, please. Unless it's like from 100 different people. I don't know. The more I use this paint holder, I'm starting to see its flaws compared to the other one. You're putting ham in the Instant Pot, cutting up carrots and sweet potatoes. What are you making? Sounds like you're having another Thanksgiving feast. Let's see. What do we got here? Black. So this model isn't super difficult to paint, but it's not as easy as the last one. It's one of the problems that you have with these one-piece models is, the joints are just all connected together. So, you know, her fist is like right in her chest. So there's no gap in between to get paint in any of the details. So you kind of have to guess. Try and do a blank background if you can. Again, not 100% necessary, but, you know, just go up to a wall in your house and, you know, as long as the lighting is half decent. It's always Thanksgiving in the Dark Star household. I like it. I like it. Alex, I was just telling the rest of the group next week, starting next week, we'll be painting King Mondo instead of. We're gonna take a little break from Rangers and take a couple weeks to paint up King Mondo. So that should be fun. You finally finished phase 1 of the Megazord. Every part of the Megazord has paint on it, mapping out details, and I'm going to paint in. Lines aren't clean and paint is splotchy. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing it. The Megazord was the very first model that I painted when I got the game, and to this day it is still my favorite. Maybe it's not my favorite, like, model, but it's the one I'm most proud of because it is not easy to paint. Oh yeah, it looks great. Yeah, it looks really, really good. I like the wrist colors that you did on there. A lot of people skips that part because it's a challenge getting those lines in there. So a lot of people just skip it. They either do one solid color or they don't do any color at all. If you go on the Facebook groups and like look up what other people have done, you'll see even like some of the like better pro painted looking ones. They've skipped that part because it's a tough part. So I like that you did that. Going for screen accuracy. I don't think it looks like crap at all. I think it looks great. I'll be honest. I wish that Yeah, I don't know why she has a bow either. If I would have known that I was going to be doing painting for Renegade, I would never have. I would not have painted my. I would not have painted mine. I would have painted it on stream. Yes, but then I'd have to go buy another figure, and I already have too many models. I have so many unpainted. Oh, black and gold would be cool. Plus, I don't know if anybody would want to watch me. No idea. I hope those are okay. What's okay? Oh, did you send me? Wait, what? Hope those are okay. I looked over at my son while I was taking those, and he had a cat turd. Oh, you sent me pictures. I was like, wait, what? Those are perfect. Thank you. I thought maybe you had sent me a picture of your son holding a cat turd. Because that would have been funny. But like I was saying, I think that I think it would be cool to paint. I don't know if anybody would watch me paint the Megazord on stream because you can just buy it painted now. I just don't know how much value that holds. I think one of the reasons why Renegade chose to sell that particular model painted and none of the others, well, I think it's an experiment to see how well painted models sell. And if it sells well, I think that there'll be more painted models in the future that they'll sell. But I think the other reason is because it's one of the harder models to paint. And so people are... And it has no... I mean, I guess the third reason could be is that it has no gameplay value. Like, it doesn't add any gameplay elements to the game. So maybe a lot of people aren't painting it because they don't use it. But I don't know. Yeah, that's true. It would be lacking in detail. I'm not frustrated with the liberties that they took because I know the reason that they did was because of, molding stuff, molding issues, and all that. So I'm being super duper sloppy. I apologize. This bow is really in my way. Like, holy moly. This black that I'm using right now is actually not black. It's German gray from Vallejo. So for the bow, I think I'm just going to paint the whole thing black. And then, of course, this picture I'm looking at doesn't have an arrow. What the heck color are the arrows? Some of these pictures make it look like it's just an energy arrow. It's not an actual arrow. Well, that makes things more complicated. So I'm just going to paint the whole bow this color, and then I'll pick out the pink parts later. Okay. Real talk. I bent a paintbrush on the metal head to form a 90-degree angle to paint between the Megazord's legs. That's one way of doing it. I just realized I didn't get out a paper towel or nothing. Man. All right, so pink. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, one of the reasons that I chose the Pink Ranger is because I don't do pink with... I didn't get the... I don't do pink normal. So I don't use like a girly pink. I say girly pink. I guess there's no such thing as a girly pink, huh? No, wrong color. So, wow, you guys can't even see. Why is my camera like that? That's weird. So this is like a baby pink. And I don't use this kind of pink on the Rangers. So normally what I do is I use, Screamer pink? No, Pink Horror. But I want to make it look a little more chaotic. I guess that's the best way to put it. So I'm going to do dark. I'm going to use Screamer Pink to start, and then I'm going to highlight with Pink Horror. I want to see how that looks. The object here is to make it not look purple, because Screamer Pink is kind of a purplish color, and that's not what I want. How did you get the details in between Megazord's legs? That's a great question. I don't know. That was over a year ago. I'd have to go back. I haven't actually even looked at my Megazord in a while. I should probably pull them down off the shelf. I'll do that in a little bit, and I'll show you all. All right. I've been doing a lot of painting recently where I don't where I use less washes and I do more, just more like layering and stuff. And it seems to be working out okay for me. All right, let's see here. It's really purple. Yeah, so that's not going to work. So instead, what we'll need to do is pink horror into a wash to darken it, and then pink horror again. I thought I could do maybe Screamer Pink without doing a wash, and then highlight it up. But it's basically just purple, and this isn't the Purple Ranger. So we're going to do it a little different. It could be the Purple Ranger. It could be Psycho Purple. If someone made a custom Daddy Louie fig, would you paint it on stream? Of course. Probably wouldn't be on a Renegade stream unless Renegade made said model. You're 100% friends with Scott, or you're Facebook friends with Scott? I wouldn't call that 100%. Like, do you know him personally? Oh my god, if the figure wasn't wearing a shirt, then I would paint him like Winnie the Pooh. And thank you, Jay Quellen, for saying nothing until now. Hey, if Ryu from Street Fighter can be a ranger, then Daddy Louie can be a ranger. What color ranger am I? I mean, is it cliche to say I'm green? I feel like that's what most people would be. but I feel like I'm a Green Ranger. See? Actually, gray. Can I be the Gray Ranger? The pink on the white is not cooperating. That's really what's taking me so long. In case anybody was wondering why I was... This color is, for whatever reason, just not working for me today. So I'm having to wait for layer 1 to dry. Do layer 2, wait for layer 2 to dry. So on and so forth. German gray. Yes. I am German gray. That's my Power Ranger color, German gray. I can't take credit for the German gray trick, though. I learned that from someone else a long, long time ago. It was actually one of the first, techniques that I learned early on. Was using German gray instead of black. And it's just something that's always stuck with me. And probably always will until someone teaches me something better. Not better, something that sticks with me more. There's multiple ways of painting to get similar results. And one is not necessarily better than the other. It's just what clicks with you as a painter. So I'll never say that this is the best way to paint black. It's just what clicks best with me as a painter. I've seen many other painters do some amazing things with the actual color black. It just doesn't click with me. I've tried. And when I discover new stuff, I'll try that too. What'd you miss? I am really excited to paint King Mondo, though. Um, I mean, I just like being on stream and painting regardless. Like, I don't really care what I paint. Um, but it'll be nice to do something different than these Psycho Rangers and these in-space Rangers. Using metallic paints for King Mondo? I mean, he's a lot of silver and gold, but isn't he like also like blue and stuff? Are his blues all metallic? Is he completely metallic? I haven't settled on anything yet. I guess what does the stream want to say? Man, the primer did not settle in these little crevices on the leg for the pink. His blues are metallic. Let's see. So is his reds. I guess I could paint him the way that I could paint him the way that I painted. Who did I paint metallic on the stream? I painted somebody metallic blue. Who was that? Does anybody remember? We'll see how well you guys know me. Yeah, that's how I did the droid. That's how I did the Ninjor. Yes, it was Ninjor. Good job, Atomic. No, it wasn't the Shadow Ranger. Was it the Shadow Ranger? I may have done the Shadow Ranger. No, it wasn't the Shadow Ranger. It was definitely Ninjor. But that's how I did Ninjor. I did a base coat of Lead Belcher, and then I painted contrast blue over him, and then I did highlights and stuff after that. So the issues that I'm having with this Ranger right now are really good examples of why you should never prime when it's cold outside. The weather has changed dramatically here. I primed over the weekend, and the primer just did not stick to the model very well, and therefore the paint is not sticking to the model. So this is a good lesson on what not to do, as opposed to a good lesson of what to do. It kind of stinks because I live in a cold weather area. So it may be time for me to break out the airbrush and airbrush the primer coat on. I don't like doing that, but I don't know. I'll have to look at the weather throughout this week so I know what to do for Mondo. Because that will be a lead belcher spray if I decide to go with metallic paints. I'll have to look at more colors of more pictures of Mondo. Airbrush I can do in the house. Spray can I can't. And I say that it's more the environment than the temperature of the primer, because like I keep all of my primers and stuff inside. They're actually like right behind me. So if it's cold outside, I mean, I guess you could go out there quickly. Yeah, it's more the cold than it is anything else. Humidity also sucks for priming outside, but I don't really have that problem up here. It's mostly the cold. But going out to the, do I have a garage or a spare bathroom that you could use to prime? I don't have a spare bathroom. I do have a garage. So maybe when the wife is gone, because she'd kill me if I did it inside the garage. Because the garage is attached to the house, so the fumes would work its way inside. And our garage is not insulated, so it's just as cold out in the garage as it is outside. But to answer to go back to what's the difference between air can or spray can and airbrush, it also depends on what kind of airbrush. The kind of airbrush that I have is not the airbrush that I use is not it doesn't use a compressor, so you don't have as much of the smell. I mean, you still probably should use like a respirator or something like that. I'm not saying like just get the airbrush that I have and then go crazy. But the airbrush that I have is not like, it's not that bad. There's probably 50,000 other things I'm going to die of first before I die of paint fumes from my airbrush, if that makes sense. I'm inhaling probably worse chemicals from using the plain old spray can. I'll show you. because I don't know what. It's one of those cordless ones. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't use like a big compressor. It uses like a portable compressor. It's not like the greatest. It's not. You're not going to be able to get full detailed like airbrushing like you would from like a really expensive airbrush. But for the amount that I use it, which would be just doing a quick prime on a model or maybe doing some overspray or something like that. Like I only have like 4 or 5, maybe 8 at most airbrush colors. So I'm not going crazy. So when I show you this airbrush, don't go, "Oh my god, I must have this airbrush so I can be the ultimate airbrusher," because you're not going to be with it. So hold on. It doesn't even say the name of the brand. Oh, yeah, it does. All right, so this is the airbrush I have. It's a Gocheer, Gocheer. And this is the compressor. So you charge this as battery. So you just charge this, and then it just attaches on the bottom here. Like that. And you just press the button. It's on. And then you just do your regular airbrushing stuff with it. It still has a needle like everything else. A cup for your paint. And I think this was maybe at most $50. It may have even been cheaper than that. I may have got it for like 40. I've had an airbrush with a compressor. I've had a different version of this. If you are gonna buy one of these, there's a few different ones on Amazon. I got this on Amazon. Make sure that, especially if this is your first time with an airbrush, make sure that the cup is attached to the pen or the gun. The other one that I had, I don't think I have it anymore, or it might be in a drawer somewhere. The cup was detachable, so the cup actually screwed on up here. It wasn't like welded into it. The reason that you want that is because, and I'll show you, this has gone into an airbrushing tutorial. The cup feeds directly into the airstream, right? So the air comes up through the compressor into the pen and then out into where the paint goes and then out the tip. The ones that attach up top, they may seem like, oh, it's a good idea because you can take it off and clean it. But you see how wide the opening is there. The one on the other one, the opening is like the size of this hole here. So it's really tiny. And the problem with that is that paint dries, like acrylic paint dries really fast. That's one of the reasons we use it, right? So if you get a airbrush that has one of those detachable cups, then the chances of that drying is really good. So if the paint dries at the hole that the paint feeds into the gun, then all of the paint inside the cup is sitting there not feeding into the pen because it's dried out. So I learned that the hard way. That was the first one that I bought, the other one, and I used it like twice. And I was like, man, this thing really sucks because you're literally having to, like, 2 drops of paint, spray. Then when the paint runs out, 2 drops of paint, spray. Like, you're basically having to constantly feed the paint into the cup. Whereas if you buy something like this, you can almost, you should never fill the whole thing up, but you can fill it, a quarter of the way or a third of the way, maybe even half of the way, and the paint won't dry because it's got lots of space to move around. You can swish it around. You just have a lot more options. So for $40, $50 at the most, this thing is fantastic for airbrush beginners. And again, it doesn't create. It's limited, right? So the amount of paint that it can put out, you can't increase or decrease the air pressure that comes out of the compressor like you can with a full-size compressor. So with a full-size compressor, you can tell the compressor how much air you want to push through the airbrush. So you're not worried about, you can go light, you can go heavy, you can do all those different things. With this, you can't do that. It's one pressure. You can dictate how much paint comes out with this little knob back here. So you do have a little bit of control. And then obviously, as you get comfortable with the actual pen, the more you pull back, the bigger the opening, the more paint comes out, the lighter you go. And maybe one day on stream, if you guys are really curious about it, and you can let me know in the chat, I can do, maybe I'll just do priming or something like that. So instead of starting with the model pre-primed, like I normally do on stream, I'll prime with the airbrush, and I can show you, how much comes out with this thing. But anyway, that's the airbrush that I have, and yeah, like I said, it's, even if you just want to experiment for $40, you can't go wrong. I think that this is actually, I think it's meant for like cake decorating and stuff like that, because without being attached to a compressor, you can go full rotation around a cake. You can move around your kitchen with it. And it just doesn't, because it doesn't use a full compressor, and you can't force it to push more air out than it is. It's not creating a lot of toxic fumes in your workspace. And I'm in a pretty open room, so I'm not concerned about breathing in too much for the limited amount of time that I'd be using this. So this is why this is a good option in the cold weather for me, because I'm only going to be priming a couple models at a time at most. I'm only going to be using this for a few minutes, and doing that inside versus using a rattle can is much safer. Okay, now that I've given you my the name brand, hold on. It's Gocheer, Gocheer. And that is my soapbox for airbrushing. And I was one of those guys who I bought one of the airbrushes that you see them on Amazon all the time, where it comes with like the whole kit, right? It comes with the compressor, the gun, an extra needle, the cleaning tools, all that stuff, and it's like $99. Or you know what I mean? Like you get like you pay like $100, and you get everything included. I bought one of those because I was like, man, that's great. And they're just a lot more challenging to use. They're not very beginner friendly at all. And you get what you pay for. So in my opinion, you get something like that as a beginner. And then if you fall in love with airbrushing, then spend a few $100s and get something that's worth the price of admission. That one's not difficult to clean at all. Some of the more expensive ones are very difficult to clean. You just have to stay on top of it. You gotta... Yeah, I'll talk to my buddies at Renegade, and I'll say, there's interest in... and I'm a novice when it comes to airbrushing, But maybe I can do an airbrushing episode of the stream where we just go over like how to set it up, or at least how I do it, how to set it up, how to use it, how to clean it. And it would be very basic because, like I said, I'm not an expert. The reason I bought it actually was to paint some range tools for Marvel Crisis Protocol. And they turned out really good. And then I got hooked. Did you see my request for finger in the mouth? What? 13 viewers. Oh dear. Are we on that again? Are we on the shirtless thing again? I'll give you paintbrush in the mouth in a minute. Psycho Pink is the first bad guy to kill a ranger. Really? How'd that happen? Yeah, the Crisis Protocol models are a lot of fun to paint. That's pretty much all I've been painting other than Power Rangers. Yeah, I'm sure you could find a good Cyber Monday deal somewhere. When I got off of work today and I got in my car, I can't take my phone into work with me because of where I work, um, and because of what I do. So like I was when I get in my car, I usually like pull out my phone and like check my messages and um, make sure that there's nothing important that I need to attend to before I drive home. And usually, like on average, I usually have like, I don't know, 15, 20 emails or so in my email box, and usually most of them are all spam. Um, but especially on Mondays, sometimes I have emails from Renegade telling me, um, hey, here's the promo photo, or what are you painting next week, whatever. So I always check. And today I checked, and I guess because it's Cyber Monday, I had like over 100 emails, and it was all like, Cyber Monday, here, go buy this. Cyber Monday, here, go buy this. It was crazy. It took forever to go through all my emails and make sure I wasn't missing anything important. DMs for what? Huh. I just gotta. Oh. No, I don't need any more emails. Unless you got a Cyber Monday deal. No, I'm Cyber Monday'd out. Well, after about 12 coats of this pink, it's starting to finally go on to the model. This is crazy. Usually with the Psychos, it does not take this long to get the colors on there. I actually painted a lot of yellow this weekend, and I had a blast with it. And I don't normally say that. I'm usually with you. I usually hate painting yellow. I wish I could just dunk the model sometimes. All right, let's see. Yeah, the top coat is usually the worst, I guess. Maybe I didn't do a very good job. Maybe I didn't do a very good job of painting the thing. Not painting, but mixing the paints. Could be my brush, too. Sometimes you gotta... I don't know. Maybe I don't even know what the word sultry means. So now we got to figure out what to do with the bow. I don't really have a very good picture of this bow. And then the arrow, the toy makes the arrow look like it's like pink energy. Right? And then I have this other picture, 10 best female Power Rangers. And Psycho Pink is on there. Is on that list. I don't know. Thank you for the definition. I appreciate that. You know, I was driving home from work today, and I was listening to another podcaster, not myself, but a different podcaster, and they mentioned a drunkisode, like an episode where everybody on the podcast just gets drunk, and I thought that was like the greatest idea ever, and I don't know why my group has not done that yet. And they called it a drunkisode. I mean, we've had people like on our show be drunk while on the show, but we've never all been drunk at the same time deliberately. So I'll be taking that to Circle of Nerds leadership. All right, so in the chat, everybody, let me know how you guys think that I should paint the arrow on the bow. Yeah, that episode could have been way better than it was, though, Jay Quellen. Like, we started with some never have I evers that were like warm-up questions, and then we like ended the show before we started getting to like some of the good questions. Also, I don't think that everyone was drunk. Like, we might have been tipsy, but like, I mean, like, we need to get like do you mean we weren't very good at the game? We all started with, like, some really basic questions. Oh, I had some good questions for you. We just, like, I thought that we were going to go for a while, and we didn't. I didn't get to ask any of my questions that I knew that you would fail at. The other problem with that episode was, like, that's when we started drinking, was when we started playing that game. I'm saying, like, we all get off of work, drink for like 2 hours, and then record the show. I'm not saying, like, let's get on the show and start drinking. I'm saying let's be done with the drinking before we even record. That was like a really old Inner Circle, AJ. That was like pre-pandemic. Actually, was it pre-pandemic? Did that episode even ever go out? Now that I think about it, I don't know if that... Yeah, I think that's one of the lost episodes. I'm taking some liberties on this bow. There's not very many good pictures online, so I'm just making it look kind of cool. I do like the blue glowing energy. I don't know if I'll have time left on this. There's only a half hour left. Jeez. Sorry, guys. I'm, like, really behind today. I just need to make it look passable, I guess, at this point. That way we don't have to finish up next week. We can move on to King Mondo. Mondorific. Let's see. See if I can use some of this silver that I put over there and didn't use. Make sure that we bring that up at the. The problem is getting Tommy drunk. Everybody else, I feel like, would get drunk. I feel like Tommy would drink like a drink and then stop. I've known him for as long as I can remember, and I think I can count maybe 2 times that I think I've seen him actually drunk. He always talks a big game and then stops. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about our podcast that we do every week. We have 2 parts to our podcast. We do one part live on Facebook, and then when we're done, we go and record in what we call the Inner Circle, which is a Patreon only podcast. Usually, it's just like random thoughts and stuff. The last few weeks, it's been solely focused on the Mandalorian. Because we have a few Star Wars experts on the show, so we like really deep dive into like the good stuff, things that you might have missed and stuff like that. Yeah, Baby Yoda. Bye bye Yoda. Okay. What color was I painting? I need to. You go give those kids a bath, man. Thanks for hanging around. Well, the mouth is fun because you got to go in between the bowstrings. That's fun. All right. Let's see here. Let's get some white. Is that why you didn't pick any Star Wars trilogies on the Facebook post? Yep, because she's an expert. She doesn't need to save them anymore. She doesn't need to see them. She just, she has them memorized, so they can go away now. So right now I am just touching up some of the white. It's not that bad. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna paint the bowstrings silver. You said they're small? Like, any idea what scale they are? Like, are there any other models? Like, is there another range out there that you can compare them to? Like, Power Rangers is heroic scale, right? So they're, I would say, abnormally large for a model game of this kind. So it makes them more heroic. You know, it makes the details more on point with something like I call it like the World of Warcraft. They're smaller than GW. Okay. I haven't painted anything smaller than GW in a long time. That's interesting. Contrast may be the way to go. You just want to be careful because you just want to be careful with pooling. You know, like you don't want the paint to pool. And you don't want the paint to pool and like clog up details because the details are going to be really tiny if the model's small. See, like contrast is great the bigger the model it is because it's going to slide into like the crevices to create the shade that it's supposed to create, all while not clogging up the details. That's what makes contrast so good. All right, let's see if I can make this arrow glow before we... Actually, I can't do that. Yeah, either. Shoot. This is why you guys shouldn't let me get on 10-minute tangents about airbrushes. The interweb says they're 32 millimeter. So 32 millimeter, that's the same scale as GW. So 32 millimeter is the size of a standard tactical marine from the Space Marines. And that's not intercessors, which is the new stuff. It's the old regular tactical marines. I'd be interested to see a photo of them standing next to a a Power Ranger model. Because, like I said, Power Rangers are heroic scale, so they're 40. Like I think they're 40 millimeters, but I think they're actually a little bigger than 40 because um, a GW intercessor is 40 mil, and like this Power Ranger right here that we're painting would be bigger than that. All right, 6 minutes to get a glowing energy. Despite our technical difficulties, I think she looks pretty cool. I'd obviously want more shade, uh, but it's not the end of the world. For the base, we're gonna do. I'll probably have to do the base after the stream is over with because I won't have time. But if you're curious, I'm just gonna do it the same way that I've done the other ones. Again, because it's I'm trying to keep them consistent. So it'll just be the pink color. What was it? Pink on top, and the German gray on the outside. This blue is Techless blue from GW. Yeah, are the He-Man models hard plastic? Or are they soft plastic? Like, oh, they look like soft plastic. Are they one-piece cast? Yeah, that's definitely 32 scale, whereas this is 40. Um, so I mean, contrast paints will work. Just make sure that, I mean, if it's one solid piece and it's soft cast like these guys are, just make sure before you paint it, you give it a nice, soap bath, so that you get all of the. That might actually be, now that I'm saying it out loud, that might be one of the reasons why the paint hasn't stuck very well on this model, is because might not have done a good job. Might not have done a good job with the. You know what I'm trying to say, with the bathing. This is Lothern blue, and I'm just apparently not AJ. Um, this is a brighter blue than the first coat. I'm not completely covering the first coat. This is definitely lighter to kind of see that initial coat go through. And then I'm going to give it a dry brush with skink blue, which is but you kind of see what I'm doing there, right? I know we're past time, but I'm going to take an extra couple minutes here just to get that. But I'll be doing my outros while I'm doing this. Oh, there's only 4 people watching anyway, and I think I know who at least 3 of them are. So for you, that one person who's in here that I might not know, you can find all my content, youtube.com/Circle of Nerds. Go check that out. Give that a subscribe. Really helps us out a lot. Thanks to Renegade, as always, for having me on stream. Originally, I thought that I only had 2 streams left in the year after today, because I thought we were going to take the last 2 weeks of December off, but I found out today from Renegade that we're not. So I actually get to be with you guys throughout the rest of the year, which is super cool. And then next year, they're not sure yet. So, chance that I may not keep streaming again next year, but we'll find out. They still don't know, and therefore I don't know. Yeah, so thanks to Renegade for having me on the stream. And next week we'll be painting King Mondo. I'll look at some pictures, see see what kind of painting we're gonna do, and I'll mention to them about the airbrushing too. See if I can't get like an airbrush tutorial going. The energy looks pretty cool. Would you stream independent of Renegade? Yeah, I mean, I could if there was general interest for it. If there was general interest for it. The tough part, right, is that, you know, like, Renegade pays me to stream, so doing it independently from that would be, like, on my own time. So I would definitely need to make sure that there was interest first, and that I wasn't just, like, streaming into the wind, you know what I mean? Because at least with Renegade, if no one watches, which is never the case, there's always people watching, but if no one did watch, then, you know, I would still... you know, get paid and stuff. Whereas if I did it independently and no one watched, then it would just be me streaming into the wind. So, but I appreciate that it is your highlight of the week. That makes me feel good. Just fixing her waistline here. Gotta make sure she has a nice, tidy waistline. So there she is. Not perfect. Like I said, if I had more time and got less sidetracked, I definitely would have. Done some more shading, more highlighting on the pink, because the pink's a little flat on the model, but certainly not terrible by any stretch, considering we had a good time. We had some laughs and stuff like that, so that's good. So anyway, thanks, Renegade, for having me on stream. Make sure that you guys remember to play your game. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.